Amazing.
Hi, Pam. Can you hear me?
Sorry, American, I really hung up on you. I can hear you. We'll get started here in a minute.
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
We're just looking like a current picture up there. That looks like a summertime picture.
Leave when I go to jail. Fly back on the 16th of May, it's a Thursday, so.
Like the wobbly thing and all that.
Is it the 16th of?
Things are still outside.
Yeah. It's okay, so.
I know.
I talked to Tony for the last meeting and it sounded like his son told me it sounded like he might get a few dollars.
He what?
Yeah, he's visiting is.
I didn't get it.
He was so good.
He kind of didn't get a chance to look at my stuff. I got a meeting, home meeting right now. When you're that's really need to talk to you. Yeah. Everything's fine. He just can't do it.
I was like, did he shave his beard?
He had a plan.
You couldn't see it online though.
I don't know. You talk, you know. Like you. Start off, very much. Something will laugh, right?
Yeah.
Ron, we're ready whenever you are.
Yeah.
There is agendas at the end of the table.
Did it change?
Nope.
Okay, cheating, only one of them.
So far, yep.
Okay, let's call to order. The first item is roll call.
Okay, so Joe Connors, no. Frank Reuter, is he here earlier?
Why was?
Okay, maybe he'll show up in a little bit. Ron Rogowski,
Here.
Dave Malinowski,
Here.
Bill Tappan,
Here.
Oz Arundel,
Here.
Monty Roberts,
There,
Ted Wellman,
Here,
Shannon Martin,
Here.
Andrew Carmichael. Lisa Gabriel. No, Brent is not here. Matt Connors,
here,
Marion is on the phone. Ginny Gates, no. Jack Blackwell
Here.
and Sarah from DEC. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Pardon me?
Is this recording?
Yes. The little red seat in the corner.
Okay.
All right,
So we have quorum.
do we have a quorum?
Good. Okay, next item is minutes approval from last month's meeting.
move to approve.
Second. I think you gotta ask for comments.
okay,
Well, we can get approval and then comment, right? Isn't that within?
so we actually gotta,
Usually you make a motion to approve, somebody seconds it, then you see if there's any comments.
That's exactly what we did.
Okay.
got an issue.
Bill is correct.
I know those
Okay.
papers, rule.
So in the committee reports, it says that we got a report from Jeff Bucker gave us a presentation. We actually talked with Tom Anthony at ours, and Jeff was in a different committee, but
Okay,
it doesn't matter, and I don't care. I'm not gonna object to the minutes, but it wasn't what happened, so. I did read them to see if it actually.
well, and somebody else asked me, these minutes, we talked about it, these are really brief. They're very just kind of like, yes, there was a report. The idea is that you can go to the full recording at the bottom
Okay,
and listen to your heart's content.
right, I'm not objecting, but I just wanted to comment that wasn't, if it makes a difference to anybody, it wasn't
Okay,
our committee that got that.
yeah, Jeff was at the River Use Habitat, right, last time? Yep, okay,
And that's a good comment, because Pam said that a couple meetings back, she was gonna start, just framework notes, and then if you want the rest of it. And so that said, I think that everybody is clear with that. The question to Monty is, do you want those notes modified, or you're okay?
No.
with
They should be, they should be modified.
I'll modify.
They can say as corrected, motion can be amended, to as corrected.
Right,
Okay, are you making that motion?
I would move the motion to correct the minutes,
Yeah.
to reflect Lonnie's point of identifying the right person
and I'll second that motion.
Okay, any opposed? Hearing none, so moved. Agenda changes and approval. Any changes to the agenda for tonight? Hearing none, motion to approve.
I'll move.
Second,
Any opposed? Moved. Public comment. Is there any public comment? Anybody on the phone, public comment? Don't think there is any here. Any public comment here?
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Frank? Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry. I couldn't get the Teams thing to work. I had to call in, and I did have one thing on the minutes from the last meeting. My name was not on there as in attendance. On roll
No,
call?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the minutes that you were sent, I think I needed to go back and look. I think you got the wrong minutes on the announcement. I think they said January 2022. I do have the right minutes in front of us and your name is on there.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay, so you're okay with that, Frank?
Yeah.
Okay, public comments, none, presentations, if we have no presentations. Okay, that's done. So the next item is agency and government reports, DNR.
Good evening, everyone. Just a couple of things. Recruitment is open for the Charisma Advisory Board. positions that, terms that will be expiring include this June 30th of 23. Frank, your term will be expiring, Oz and Monty. So if you're interested in reapplying, please do so by March 31st. And I'm also pleased to announce that we have filled 2 of our vacant positions at the Kenai Parks office. We just recently filled our vacant maintenance position. Paul Sledadall has transferred over from the Department of Transportation. He joins our team, and then Robin Hahn is was a temporary seasonal for a couple of years. She's moving to a position in our office, so administrative assistant. So great to have these 2 new folks on the team. So now we need to fill some ranger positions, one thing at a time. That's all I have.
Ranger positions and is Pam's position open?
She has not announced her retirement yet.
Well, you're the last one to hear.
No, I
She
have,
hasn't turned in her paperwork
yeah,
yet.
I gotta hand in paperwork.
Can't fill it.
Can you lose it?
Can I lose what, the paperwork?
That's all I have.
Pam doesn't lose or forget.
Hmm.
Any other question for Jack?
You're gonna miss this, Andrew.
Next is DEC, Sarah.
Summer 2023-2025 Alaska Clean Water grants. We had 18 projects get awarded. We have a couple on the Kenai Peninsula here. There's going to be 2 for the Kenai Peninsula Borough. One's looking at green infrastructure kind of engineering alternatives for water coming off gravel pits. And then the other one, Peninsula Borough, is going to be a rain garden here at the River Center. And then the city of Pullman is looking at installing green infrastructure to deal with stormwater. And then the city of Sildovia is doing a scoping project, looking at potential for incorporating green infrastructure in their stormwater plans for the future. And then we're also going to be refunding our Clean Harbors program. So not necessarily for the but that project has worked with the Minocha Harbor and Pullman Harbor, and so we're hoping to get a grant fellow to get assigned to that project, and they're going to be working to revamp the project and get some harbors recertified as clean harbors around the state. So there could be some work associated with that project here on the peninsula. That's it. We've been getting the work plans and the budgets figured out for those projects for the past weeks. So that's funded.
Any questions, sir? Okay. Next is Fish and Game.
So I have a report from Jenny Gates, and I'll just read it. Jenny's on personal leave for a few days, but the sport fish area manager position closed for recruitment on Monday. And it may be a few weeks to appoint for their new appointment. Due to regional staff unavailability and scheduling conflict, the Cook Inlet-wide preseason forecast and preseason actions have not been finalized, nor have been issued. The Board of Fisheries call for proposals for subsistence, personal use, sport, guided sport, and commercial fishing regulations for Lower Cook Inlet and Upper Cook Inlet. Finfish are due Monday, April 10th, 2023. Commenting period for the statewide stocking plan for 5 years, closed on January 30th, or correction, January 31st, with no significant comments regarding the Northern Kenai Peninsula Stocking Program. There are multiple vacancies within the office currently and more within the coming months for both sport fish and commercial fisheries. And then finally, the FY23 mid-year budget audits will be happening for regional research and management projects, and FY24 budgets have not been finalized. I will not be taking any questions on that. Move on.
Moving right along. Next is, Forest Service, Marion.
Let me unmute myself really quick. Okay, so we have a new Streamwatch MOU, which replaces the old one. So Streamwatch will continue for another 5 years. Thank you, everybody. Also, we're working on the Russian River interpretive panels. I've been working with Jenny Gates at Fish and Game, and also the Kenai Indian Tribe and Siri primarily. Also, Jack, thank you, Jack Blackwell, for the panels that are at the Cooper Landing boat launch. It was really nice to see them. Hopefully our panels will look as good as yours. We're now in stiff competition. Just kidding. We're going to have a visit at the Russian River from the Washington office in March to talk about the volunteer program, so Streamwatch. And we are still trying to hire a bunch of Forest Service techs, but primarily still on the list are my Russian River techs. So I'm hoping to fill those soon. And that is all I've got right now. Any questions?
Hey, Ron, you skipped somebody.
Yeah. Who did I skip?
Matt.
Oh, Matt, yeah, okay, yeah. I scribbled my notes together. Fish and Wildlife, Matt.
Yeah, so similar, we're doing a lot of hiring right now. We, have selected someone to replace Ryan's position for the permit technician in the office that works with issuing permits for us. They'll be starting, looks like in March, once everything gets cleared. And then, Jason Knowles' position, who oversaw, planning and all the permitting for the refuge. His position has been approved to be replaced, left, in January. And so that'll take a few months, of course, for our HR to get it together and let it be advertised, but that will be getting replaced, which is always nice to know for sure. We've hired all of our seasonal rangers for the year. We've got our trail crew rehired, as well as Gavin's crew and our biology techs. The only thing we're working on now is hiring, got a little bit of money, as I mentioned last month, I think, for hiring a crew to put in boundary signs around the refuge. And we have 1.9 million acres. You have a lot of linear feet where you need to say, you know, this is where it starts. So that's one of the projects that we're working on. So just trying to find some folks to do that. I might be putting out another local hire authority, meaning people that are in the area or have interest and knowledge of Alaska can apply. More in a non-competitive status. More on that to come, but hopefully we can get another 3 or 4 people picked up and help with that crew. Seasonal position up to 6 months in length, or 1,039 hours they call it, but chronologically it's a 6-month usually position. So we're filling those too. Again, just a reminder, once we get some dates that are more concrete, we'll start advertising and posting when for sure Jim's Landing will be closed in early spring. The contractor's hopeful that most of the work that requires completely shutting it down would be in March. That's what we're shooting for, to impact as few people as possible. So it looks like 2 to 3 weeks it'll be shut down in March. Again, we're kind of at the mercy of the weather here, you know, when things are cleared up. And then it'll be, of course, limited flow, but without being closed operation the rest of the summer. That's our Cadillac plant that we hope works out. So people will still be able to use that location, but just understand there'll be some delays, probably some one-way linear traffic as people come and go as they try to work and finish that construction. So good stuff that needs to happen, but with some short-term sacrifice for long-term gains. That's all I've got.
Question for Matt? Thanks, Matt. Matt has Rangers. Sorry. City of Kenai, Lisa.
As I reported last, Paul Ostrander has retired, city manager from the city of Kenai. They hired Terry Bank, who was the finance director, and so Terry's been the last couple of weeks. They actively advertised his position as finance director 2 weeks ago, and it closes tomorrow. So if any of you are finance material, you got one day to get it, your application in. And then the city had a drilling test rig at the base of the bluff the other day. Some people noticed that it was there, and it was basically doing soil tests, core tests for the bluff project, to make sure that there's not going to be any surprises or anything when they start that project. You know, it's an old city, a lot of stuff happened back in the day. So anyway, that's my report.
Any questions for Lisa?
My question. You guys have been. It is. It's posted online. It's a new. The link. Yeah, it is posted online.
Thank you.
Okay, so City of Soldat.
Not much. We're still trying to finish exploiting our last batch of employees we hired, so we can get the new ones in the summer. We're doing that about another month, working towards development of a recreational trails project and historical educational project, just starting into the work to even be able to put out to bid for a conceptual design, which would occupy West Redoubt and then a lot to the west of the sports center. As there's still sensitive cultural issues there, we'll put trails and then actually make a little day use area behind the sports center, which would fund those. So we're just starting into that process, trying to get contacts out to the stakeholders that would be involved before we irritate anybody or leave anybody out. We move forward that very carefully to get all parties involved, so we don't have a repeat of what happened years ago at Slycock. So, but other than that, just kind of calm before the storm. Still affecting a bunch of beetle kill on that West Redoubt property. Like a majority of the stuff close to the houses gone and dealt with, and then they'll start working their way back toward the river before the other fires to go mitigations.
Any questions for Andrew? Okay, and Pam, you said Brent's not here?
No, he's in Hawaii.
Okay, moving on, committee reports, president's report, I have none. Guide advisory, Monty, you?
We did not meet. We got our business done for the year that I know of, so we probably won't meet for the remainder of this spring unless somebody has something burning they want to talk about.
Okay, Habitat and River Use had a joint meeting this afternoon.
I'll start. Is that what we said, or you want to
Yes.
start?
Is there?
But that what we agreed to?
That's okay.
Actually, I think that the idea, Shannon, you and I haven't really discussed it, but I like the combined meeting. I think it's a good use of resources and save some time. And what do you think?
I think it's an effective use of time because there's a lot of overlap.
Right. Okay. We really only discussed a couple of things today. I'll start on the subject of a stamp of some kind. With the target of being able to raise revenue that will stay here on the peninsula. And we had a very good discussion, and Andrew, I want to thank you for participating online. That was a big help. And Monty, you were a big help today too. So we concluded that we will probably have another special subcommittee meeting to further discuss the rough outline that we came up with today. Jack was very helpful, as Monty, as I think I mentioned, of coming up with some good ideas about how to keep the money here, using as an example the Chena dip net fee that is been in place. I don't know how long it's been in place.
Chitna.
Did I say Chitna? Chitna. How long that's been in place? Anybody have any idea?
10 years or thereabouts. At least.
And if I understand correctly, the money stays in the region, but for access improvements, not for habitat improvements. But again, it's an example of what passed through the state and might be a model that we can learn from. So we're gonna draft an approach at this special subcommittee meeting. And was it Tom Toby that we wanted at that meeting?
Talby.
Huh?
Talby.
Talby?
Mhm.
Okay. Was it that, we wanted him at that meeting? And you, Shannon and Monty are gonna set that up, is that correct? Okay, cool. So we don't have a date for that yet. Anybody have any, do you have any suggestions for a date? Shannon,
Sometime soon. Next week,
next week? All right,
depending on his schedule.
all right, great. That's it in a nutshell for the first part of our discussion. Any questions? Good. Did I cover everything?
I believe so. The second part of our discussion, we opened it up to members to see if there was any recommended subjects or new subject matter that we hadn't talked about concerning the habitat. And board member Monty Roberts wanted to discuss the closure signs that are no fishing within 10 feet of the shoreline, and how he's viewing them as not as effective as they used to be. And what can we do as far as Charisma board members to take care of the habitat better? And so we discussed some solutions, some possible solutions, working with Jack, possibly putting some habitat closures in place by the director, or having more educational signs. And we'd like to discuss this further with Tom Anthony at the next meeting. He's a ranger within Charisma, so that he can give us perspective from an enforcement angle. And that's all I have on that. If there's any questions.
Okay, thanks, guys.
I have one question for the two chairs. Is 3 o'clock okay for time? I mean, if Monty's not gonna have any more meetings, we're kind of open with timing,
We
you
can
know,
bump it up a little bit earlier. That would be better for my schedule.
2 o'clock.
To have a break before this meeting.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, I don't know, doesn't matter to me.
2 o'clock.
Perfect.
All right, I'll set the next one for 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the regular meeting, not this special meeting next week. You guys are going.
We don't have a date on
Yeah,
that
you gotta look that offline.
when Tom's available.
Okay. Old business. Jeremy? New business? Correspondence. Again, the comment was that that letter got to where it was supposed to go. And
Oh, yeah.
you did a great job on everybody who contributed and got that out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, do you wanna tell the full body what you got back from Senator?
Did have some feedback from Senator Bjorkman that he was interested in the range project. So that was one of the 2 projects that were identified. So that was encouraging, and Director Geese will be in Juneau later this month, and we'll follow up on that inquiry.
And perhaps the replacement boat might go in the revised governor's budget.
We're hopeful that that will be announced, but
Okay.
Okay, public comment? Didn't have any before, I guess there's not any now. Is there any other board members' comments?
Oh,
sorry.
You want to talk about changing the date on,
Yeah, well, that's next on the, gotta go down the list. Okay.
that's after we adjourn though, so
I'm gonna. Okay.
don't adjourn first.
I will circle back to changing of the agenda as we will talk about meeting timing before adjournment. Hearing no opposition, that's how we'll do it. Bill?
I want to compliment Shannon and the stars in the newly released video on the Kenai River Kings. I think it was absolutely fantastic, beautifully filmed, well scripted. I don't know how many have seen it or not. It's available on Chris's website. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it.
Rivers Are Live.
Rivers Are Alive, right. It's so well done. Jack did a great job. Shannon did a great job. Ricky Geese did a great job. And others. It's really worth seeing, in my opinion. Thank you, Ron.
Oh, thanks for that. I did not know that was.
Oh, it's beautiful. I've sent it outside to several people. Regulars up here.
It's got great imagery of the Kenai, and we talk about taking care of the habitat.
Hey Pam,
Deal.
Yeah,
could we maybe send out a link to that with the for everybody in the Charisma board? I just quick tried to Google it and it didn't pop up immediately.
you don't send me that,
Yeah,
Shannon.
sure, I'll send that over.
Yeah, we can do that. Tomorrow.
Thanks. Sounds like a fun watch.
Thanks, Mary. Any other board comments? Questions? Okay, the next meeting that Jack brought up is scheduled for March 9th. He is going to be completely unavailable and I'm going to be out of town, so he was suggesting we move it to the 16th.
Yeah, any objections if we push it back to the 16th?
I won't be able to make it, but that's okay. I have another conflicting scheduled meeting on that date.
Okay, so then Jack can make it and Oz is going to chair the meeting since I will still be out of town, but I intend to team in. But it's hard to run a meeting by team. So that's what we'll be doing then.
And another goal is to have a quorum too, so
I'll be there.
I'll be there. You'll be there.
I'll be there.
Frank will be
Frank
there.
will be there.
Frank will be
I
there.
think we got a quorum.
Okay, I think we'll be fine.
All right.
Okay. Now circling back to the last item, unless there is any other further comments or discussion, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Get a motion, a second, any opposed, hearing none, we're adjourned.
Bars open.
Wow, efficient there.
Beer lamp.
No, it's not a record, but
Hey Shannon, how'd you like the data now?
Yeah, it's something.